whenever you're going to eat Thanksgiving, whenever you get your big old plate of food with a bunch of bad shit on it, focus on eating. What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to be talking about my top 3 diet hacks to make it through the holidays without putting on a bunch of weight, stay shredded, stay lean. So before we get into that, please like and subscribe to the video. It helps me a ton. And with that, let's get into it. All right, so whenever it comes to going into the holidays, everybody knows it's real easy to fall off the wagon, and then you call it a really big, little bit of a bulk, because what ends up happening is you eat way too much at Thanksgiving. Then after Thanksgiving, this is where the real problem happens. You start eating more of the leftovers, then you eat the leftovers for a week, and then 2 weeks until all the leftovers are gone. And then by that point, you put on about 10 pounds, and you're gonna call it a dirty bulk that you're gonna start to shred off later in the summer. But it is possible to be able to stay lean and stay on your diet while you're going through Thanksgiving and still be able to enjoy it. This is what I'm gonna be doing. It's what I've done in the past, because I'm currently on a cut right now, doing about a 12-week cut, and I'm on week 3 right now. So it's been good so far, but of course, going into the holidays, here we got Thanksgiving in a few days, and then we've got Christmas here in a little bit longer. So the best ways that I have found are we're gonna break it up into 3 different steps, or 3 different times. You're gonna do the before the holiday, on the day of the holiday, and then what you're gonna do the day after. So it's kind of like a 3-step, 3-day process that we're gonna be going through. And it's gonna make it so you don't gain weight, but you still can enjoy your day of Thanksgiving and not feel like you have to go and be, a complete bitch about things and be like, oh no, I can't have this, I can't have that. But you still can eat everything you want to, but without gaining weight from it. All right, so let's get into it. Whenever it comes to the day before Thanksgiving, the biggest thing you want to keep in mind is the fact that you're going to be eating a ton the next day. So whenever you're looking at your calories, make sure you're looking at a weekly deal. So for example, you're not looking at your calories day to day, especially whenever it comes to times like this where you know you're going to eat a lot. Your body has enough fuel to make you last through one day. I'll be honest, it's not going to be a very pleasurable day. The day before Thanksgiving, it's not going to be a lot of fun, because during that day before, you're pretty much priming your body and preparing it for the fact that it's going to eat a metric ton here in about 24 more hours. So on that day, what you're going to make sure you're going to want to do is you're going to eat less. I would recommend a good 1,000, 2,000 calories lower than what you're normally doing. Still make sure you're hitting your protein, because again, that's the most important thing still, is make sure you're getting enough protein. But really, the protein is all you have to really focus on that day. So getting lean sources of protein, or if you want to get your fats in there too, you can also do chicken thighs, for example, making sure you're getting your protein and still a little bit of good fats from the chicken thighs instead of, let's say, chicken breast. But still make sure you're getting your 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. But that's really the main thing you have to focus on. And honestly, it can still be hard, depending on how low your calories are, to hit that 1 gram per pound of body weight. So you can move it back a little bit to about 0.8, 0.75 maybe, but still trying to eat as much protein as you can while still keeping the calories extremely low. Alrighty, now for the day of Thanksgiving. This is where you're gonna eat a ton and you're gonna pig out like crazy. But that's fine, because it's one day out of the year, or if you're counting all the holidays, right? Like, however many days of the year, but it's not that many. It's not gonna ruin your diet, even if you go absolutely nuts on one day. But you still have some things you have to keep in mind. Again, whenever you're going to eat Thanksgiving, whenever you get your big old plate of food with a bunch of bad shit on it, focus on eating the turkey first and the protein first, because I've talked about this before. Some of my other videos, I'll point you to one of them right here. One thing you want to keep in mind is you always want to eat your protein first. This is because protein is more satiating, more filling, and it feels like you can't eat as much of the other food whenever you eat the protein first, because you're going to be way more full. So you have to really focus on eating that protein first. And you can still eat the other stuff, but you're gonna be way more stuffed by the time you get to those mashed potatoes or those collard greens or whatever the rest of your Thanksgiving food is gonna be, because you ate all that protein at the very start. Now, for the next part of the day, because of course it's not just this, whenever you're eating like 4,000 calorie surplus, you gotta do a little bit more. So the next thing you're gonna wanna do is making sure you're getting a lot of walking done. You have 2 real choices when it comes to this part. You can either try and focus on getting like 5,000 to 10,000 more steps than you normally do. This would also help when it comes to digestion, because there's been a lot of studies done based on whenever you go for a walk after a meal, even if it's a quick 10-minute walk, really helps with digestion, bloating, how you feel. So I would highly recommend that. But also, if you don't want to go for another extra 5,000, 10,000 steps, what you can do is go do a ton of cardio. Now, I'm not a big fan of doing cardio for weight loss as your primary form of weight loss, but in specific situations like this, in the end, it is calories in, calories out. So for one day, if you eat a shit ton, you can go burn a shit ton of calories. Preferably if you can find something that you enjoy doing, if you want to go play basketball, whatever it ends up being. But you can also get on the Stairmaster for an hour and feel like absolute death, but you won't gain weight from it. So that's the upside. Alrighty, and then now we're gonna go for the day after. Now it's the day after Thanksgiving. You're feeling terrible because you ate 8,000 calories over your diet. Now you're dying, you feel terrible, but guess what? You still gotta get up, you gotta get moving. Highly recommend you go for a good workout. Your pumps are gonna be crazy because you just had a shit ton of carbs. So in the gym, you're gonna probably feel great because you have so many calories in your body that your body just will, wanna burn off as much as it can. That's an upside. Also, make sure you're going for, again, very long walks. Personally, I wouldn't really want to do a ton of cardio the day after. I'd rather do it the day of, but you can also do a day after to help burn off all the shit that you ate the day before. So you can always do that, but make sure you get a ton of steps in. Again, do something very similar as you did the first day. You're kind of mimicking the same thing. What you're gonna wanna do is, again, eat very low calories. You just ate 8,000 calories over your diet calories. So your body definitely has the fuel it needs the next day. The calories don't just disappear, right? So you will be able to make it through that next day. And hopefully you're not gonna be that hungry either. So make sure also that you're staying away from leftovers. I know you guys are gonna wanna do it because you're gonna see those juicy leftovers in the fridge. You're gonna wanna devour them. You're gonna wanna eat those dinner rolls. You're gonna wanna eat those biscuits, but stay away from them. Listen, pig out that one day. Make sure you got all of your fill to make sure that you're not gonna wanna eat any more the next day. You wanna get back on your diet because you wanna feel better. So make sure you don't eat any leftovers, even the turkey. A lot of times, like I know my dad, whenever I go back home for Thanksgiving, he deep fries the turkey, fills it. He'll literally take like a syringe. I don't know if anybody else's family does this, and basically fills it with garlic butter at different parts. So it's, even though it's turkey, it's not exactly healthy, right? So don't touch any of the leftovers. Get back on your diet and get back on the horse. And I can guarantee you guys, if you do these 3 things, if you follow this 3-step process, you guys will not gain weight over Thanksgiving. There is a small change to gain, maybe a pound or 2, but it's mostly going to be water weight, or it's going to be from the high amounts of sodium that you eat, but it's not going to last. You're going to get right back on your diet and you're going to go back to killing it. Alrighty, for a quick recap, we're going to start with number 1, the day before Thanksgiving. Get enough steps in. Focus on not eating a ton. Make sure you're eating like 1,000 to 2,000 calories under what you're currently eating on your diet. Then day 2, what you're gonna focus on, eat your protein first. Go for either long walks, like 5,000-10,000 more steps than you would normally on your diet days, or do a absolute shit ton of cardio to kind of help balance the fact that you just ate a shit ton of food. And then day 3 is going to be making sure that you're not eating leftovers. Make sure you're getting 5,000 to 10,000 steps afterwards. Again, over what you normally get, kind of repeating day 1, and eat much lower in calories that day. You can't always do the whole entire fast bullshit where you fast the whole day, but I couldn't fast the whole day. I love eating food too much. So I would recommend focusing on protein, specifically something like chicken thighs that does have some fat, so you feel a little bit more satiated and you feel like you're eating a little bit more than just plain chicken breast. So if you guys liked this video, please let me know if you guys have any other tips for people who are going on a diet. Post in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to start a discussion. If you guys like this diet content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.